Hello everyone, so in today's video I'm going to be doing a review to I'm a Celebrity 2025 episode number 6. So at the beginning of the episode, Tom explained that he was doing a lot of tossing in the cot and that he'd only actually had 3 hours sleep the previous evening. Ruby, Tom and Vogue were all doing spoken word by the pond, so I think Tom was kind of just reciting a lot of poetry and spoken word and the other two were just kind of listening in. And Ruby explained that Tom compared her to a summer's day, but when her clothes are off, she's like a winter's day. And then Tom decided to start singing while they were in the pond. So I think here it's kind of, Tom and Vogue are new to the camp. They're trying to like team bond with people. And although they are the leaders, they are obviously trying to get involved with the other campmates as well. H asked Shona what she thought they would be eating today, and she said potentially tadpole bum. Kelly was on making rice duty. Vogue said the rice looked a bit like porridge, but Tom explained it had a nice texture. So I think with the meal times, it's always difficult because you can't please everyone. Some people want hard rice, some people want soft rice. Some people probably don't even want any rice, but you can't please everyone, so you just kind of have to do what works for the majority. Vogue explained that everyone obviously wanted to earn a badge, and Ruby questioned where I'm a Celebrity and managed to find Tom because he's obviously such an interesting character. The next trial was for Jack and Alex, and they both explained that this would be a good trauma bond for the both of them. And Vogue explained that both Shona and H are single and they actually looked quite good together. Tom liked his blue eyes, and Vogue explained that they both like music. Vogue also explained that Martin and Shona are the only ones that haven't done any trials at the moment. It was revealed that Alex and Jack were doing the trial. Alex was like, "Are you for real?" And yeah, Eddie said, "I'm hungry," and Jack said, "I will provide." So they basically went on a discomfort break, and Alex said that obviously they're absolutely fine because they're sitting on their comfy chairs, and their trial was basically around mealworms, crickets and cockroaches. Shona said that when she first walked in, she had a butt. Now she doesn't have a butt, nor does she have any dignity. And I think Vogue explained that her and Tom had chosen Martin and Shona to also jump on this trial, because I think it was Alex and Jack were voted for by the public, and then Martin and Shona were voted for by Vogue and Tom, the camp leaders. So that was the 4 people taking part in the challenge. And I think in the end, they did actually manage to get the 12 out of 12 stars. I think what they had to do here was they were sitting on a dunny, and they had little stars that were kind of hooked to rods. They had a tool, and they basically had to just see which of their tools would fit in which of the stars. So for example, I think Shona had a smaller key, so any of the stars that had a bigger gap in the middle, obviously she wouldn't be able to unlock, so she would have to either move them that way or this way. And it was a bit of a lot going on type trial. Like there wasn't one person I was looking at. I was kind of looking around the whole thing. But yeah, in the end, they did manage to get their 12 stars. Martin explained the strategy was just to stay calm. Shona said that obviously there was a lot of happy faces, and obviously seeing Ginger's face, like, what? Like, you've actually got your 12 stars. Eddie said that obviously having their 12 stars is now going to be a banquet for dinner, and H explained to Vogue that she was the freshest faced here and she looked absolutely lovely. And Ruby also mentioned that Vogue doesn't realise how pretty she is, whereas in real life she would have just walked away. Vogue also added that Ruby is very brutally honest in what she says. Kelly explained that she doesn't really need to do any showers in the morning anymore, and she won't be able to have her showers anymore because obviously she'll be up early to do the cooking duty. And Lisa basically whispered to Vogue saying, "Don't put me on cooking duty, because usually me and my husband go to M&S and get food, and also you don't want someone who's not going to be able to cooking for the rest of camp." Vogue explained that she felt bad because obviously they were judging other people whilst actually not doing any chores themselves, and it was an interesting position to be in. Lisa explained to Ruby that Tom has a really good posture, and H and Ginger were both sitting in the cold pond, with Ginger was just standing there, and H kind of started splashing him with water, saying that you're going to need this, this will actually make you feel so much better. Jack and Shona were moving the dunny, and Eddie kind of watched the two of them quickly just put the lid on and twist it and whatever, and said, look, it was really good technique the way you were doing this. He was just standing on like, whoa, this is great. And then the chief explorers had to decide who was going to each of their exhibitions. So Vogue was on shelter duty, and she needed people with her that were patient, and Tom added that potentially they should be strong as well. And then for Tom, he was going on a little fishing trip, and he felt like he needed people that would obviously be interesting, and he said somebody like Eddie he could see singing the sea shanty, so he chose him as part of the team. So in the end, Vogue chose H, Ruby and Ginge, and Tom for the fishing trip chose Eddie, Lisa and Kelly. So for Team Vogue, we'll begin with the four of them. So H, Ruby and Ginge were her little teammates. H said that he spent 6 weeks in a building job, and feels like he's got the most experience out of the four. Vogue explained he got 2 degrees within construction, so I think out of the four of them, she's the most qualified. And if they were to have won this challenge, they would have got bags of popcorn for camp. And yeah, basically what they had to do was build a puzzle. So in their different pairs, I think H was with Vogue, Ginge was with Ruby, and they had these different wooden planks to kind of cover where they were sitting to kind of make a roof. And yeah, they basically had to just fill a little puzzle. And yeah, whoever got the puzzle... Well, it wasn't a timed thing. It was just once both teams got their little puzzle completed, they won the popcorn. They did win the popcorn, and they were actually sprayed with water the entire time as well, which H kind of replied to and said, well, I don't think actually that was water, with Vogue saying it potentially could have been vomit fruit. And then for Tom's team, he was with Lisa, Eddie and Kelly, and their challenge was called Catch of the Day, and they were also able to win 6 bags of popcorn as well. Kelly explained at first they didn't really know what they were doing. Eddie was very enthusiastic, and yeah, they basically had to just go around this little pond, get coloured fish, and then plonk them into their net. And obviously once they did that, they obviously got their stars as well. H opened up to Tom about his sisters, who are obviously twins. Oh, Tom said that he's truly altruistic and has a heart of gold. I'm not sure what that means. Jack explained that his children get almost 2 Christmases every year. They get a lot of toys and no space. And then obviously his dad used to spend a lot of money on gifts for family and friends and things like that, but would question why they would gift people that they don't really know or care about. For dinner, they had ostrich egg and okaga, with Ruby saying it was a difficult egg, but it looked delicious. Kelly explained, let's not lose the potatoes again, and Vogue explained that the egg was really gooey. Ginge said that the vegetable was the flavour, and I think Ruby jumped in here and said, thank goodness you put the vegetables in, almost hinting at the fact that the rest of the meal was awful. And she said, oh, I feel so bad because everything I say just comes out wrong. And then we also found out from Ant and Dec that anybody at the end of the next episode who didn't have a badge would be doing the next trial, and Tom explained that they came bearing their gifts. Team Vogue, she said she was proud of all of them and they all stink, but she was giving her first badge to H, with him saying LATB, look at the badge, and for Ruby with Vogue saying, of course, the badge is for you. The community badge for someone who was stoic and warm was Martin, someone who's always for the people, and the exemplary badge, who has a wonderful way of running things, Eddie, who basically had a jungle MBE. So at the end of the badge ceremony, we found out that Alex and Shona didn't have any badges, so the other 10 were going to have a luxury breakfast, and obviously the 2 of them were going to be taking part in the next trial. The trial was Tents of Torment, which would involve Alex, Shona, and the 2 camp explorers, Vogue and Tom. So that's the end of episode 6. If you did enjoy my little review, don't forget to like and share. And for episode 7, it will be coming very, very soon. After my 2 weeks, after the first 10 episodes, I'm going to do a quick little summary, a few little extra episodes. So if you are watching, don't forget to comment, don't forget to share. Let me know who you're liking so far, who you're not liking, who do you think is going to win, who do you think is going to be first and second ones out. Anyway, until then, thank you for watching and goodbye.